Yo, what up, lifers? What up, lifers? What up, lifers? It's Dave Life. It's Dave Life. You're watching the After Dark podcast. This is Dave Life, and you're watching the After Dark podcast. This is episode number 316. After Dark episode number 316. Child support. Should moms use it for their lifestyle? Child support. Should moms use it for their lifestyle? Yo, man, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're with us tonight, so I want to say thank you, and I appreciate that. Let's start things off like we always do, y'all, the right way. Dearly Father, have your way, Lord. I pray that you would speak to your people. Father, I pray that you would enlighten, entertain us, and inform us. Father, I pray less of me and more of you. Have your way. Let us have a great conversation. Forgive us of our sins that we've committed by both commission and omission. Charge to our heads and not our hearts. We give you all the praise, glory, and honor in Jesus' name. Amen, amen, and amen. Yeah. What up, y'all? It's your boy Dave Life, and we in the building, man. I appreciate y'all. Like I said, you could have been anywhere in the world. You're here with us tonight, man. I appreciate that. If you want to support After Dark and the After Dark podcast and Dave Life, you can hit us on Venmo at Dave Life. Hit us on Venmo at Dave Life. Hit us on Cash App, $ Dave Life TV. On Cash App, $ Dave Life TV. And the link is pinned below. You can see it down there. Man, I appreciate y'all for joining me, man. It's been another long week. We're back. There's going to be some people that's going to join me to help me out, man. And I will bring them up when they jump on. But man, we got to talk about child support. Child support. Is it for the mom or is it for the kids? Child support. Is it for the mom or is it for the kids? I saw something earlier this week that made me want to talk about this. Shout out to everybody that's watching on YouTube. Shout out to everybody watching on YouTube and everybody watching on X, formerly known as Twitter. And let me see, am I live on the gram? I think I'm live on the gram. Yeah, it's not. It don't show on my monitor, but I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna go to the gram myself and see if I see myself. All right, let's see. Are we live? Yeah, we live. Bet. All right, cool. So if you're on the gram, man, and you see me, I appreciate you, man. You come on over to YouTube and check us out. Go to youtube.com/Dave Life TV, all one word. youtube.com/Dave Life TV, all one word. Make sure you like and subscribe. You can also come on over and click on the live tab when you find the page, and you'll see me. We'll be there. We're gonna get this out. It's like, yo, you know what's funny? It feels like when sometimes you gotta just press. Sometimes you gotta persevere. It seems like when you're trying to get the show going and get stuff going, things can kind of get in the way, right? We had some technical difficulties tonight. Some problems with the cameras, problems with the audio. And I said, you know what, man, somebody might need to hear this show tonight if we're getting all this opposition. Somebody might need to hear this. And I want to make sure that I've got the right things pulled up for you that we can talk about. All right. I see people joining. Thank you, everybody that's joining. I appreciate y'all, man. All right. So I got a question. Child support. Is it for the mom? Is it for the kids? Child support. Is it for the mom? Is it for the kids? You have a situation where you've got a single mom and her baby daddy is on child support, and she wants to use the money to kind of fund her lifestyle and things that are going on with her. And the question is that right? The question is that cool? Um, I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people are out here dealing with child support and things like that. Um, it's for the kids. I see Moolah. Oh, somebody just jumped into the studio. Come on up to the stage. I see her. Sophie, that girl. Come on to stage, Sophie. What's up, Sophie?
Nothing much. I
Welcome,
think
welcome.
everybody that's trying to get on, they might be seeing a white screen.
All right, are you? Is that what you see on Instagram?
Yep, on my the link you sent out to all the other co-hosts. So that might be why they're a little delayed.
Oh, okay. Um, hmm. Let's see if I can resend it. Okay, I'll resend the link. I'll put it in the group chat, y'all. So if y'all are in the group chat, yeah, I did see something on Instagram and StreamYard. It was saying that there was some difficulties or some ups and downs. I'm not really sure what's going on, but here I just resent the link. Boom, it's in the chat. Maybe that'll let people in. All right, how you been, Sophie? Hold on, you're on mute, Sophie. Unmute for me.
I'm muting because I don't have my AirPods connecting, but this is what I'm still getting with the new link.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. All right, I'll have to see. Let me see if I can do anything on my end.
Because no one has.
Let me see what happens when I click it. All right, you might be right. You know what? You have to hit open an external browser.
Okay.
There you go. Look, Sophie. When you
All
open
right.
an external browser, it comes
All
up.
right. So I'll try that. Maybe everybody. Oh, here it is. Yep. And if for anybody who's watching, click on the three little dots up top. All right. So I will switch to that unless you.
Yeah, I mean, we here now. This could work.
All
We
right.
make it work. Um, ooh, Moolah. What's up, Moolah? She said it's for the kids. She said child support is for the kids. Moolah, if you want to come to the stage, I'll send you the link. You can join us if you want to be on camera. Uh, what say you, Sophie? Is the child support for the mom or the kids or both?
I think it's for the child.
Mm-hmm. What makes you say that?
Because if a woman did not, or a man did not have children and he was single, he could have the option of having like a one-bedroom apartment. If he has mixed gender children, he's gonna have to have a three-bedroom, one for himself, one for his daughter, and one for his son. But if we all were living in the same house, we would still have to have a larger home, the groceries and all of that to take care of. Just that's just the household alone. And
Mm-hmm.
some of you who might be out house shopping or apartment shopping, there is a difference between getting a one bedroom studio, a one bedroom apartment versus a three bedroom apartment, or purchasing a multiple of a family home that has multiple rooms to house the children. So that's just one piece of it. Then there's the extracurricular activities, and then you didn't make the child by yourself. So I feel like there's has to be an offset. Now, if it's equal, I still believe that wherever the child primarily resides, that person should receive some type of additional compensation, because times when the other party um, is caretaking of the child, it may be couch, it may be in dad's spare room or a guest room, and it's not something where it's their own. I believe the children need to be able to have a place where it's their own, a place where they call home, and whether you can afford it or not, The other party that participated in the making of the child should contribute to the livelihood of the child.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree that the parent that's not the custodial parent should contribute, right?
Mhm.
They should definitely pay the child support. So, but for the parent that is the custodial parent that has the children or the child, is it okay for them to use the money? Like, let's say the child is good. Let's say the child has clothes, food, in school, shelter, books, everything they need. And let's say the child support is enough to where there's surplus. Should the mom then be allowed to do whatever she needs to do with that money, whether it's go on vacation, get her hair and nails done, buy herself some clothes, or what have you, or take herself out to dinner? Should she be allowed to do all that, or should she just put it somewhere to
Um,
the side and only use it for the kids?
I can see how the other party can see it that way, but there's never a surplus. When you have children, there's never a surplus. There is the money that is for child support, and then what happened is people begin nickeling and diming. They start getting to the other person's pocket. The money that you are giving to me, if you just leave it just as for the household alone, unless you're paying $5,000, $6,000, and she's not working at all, that $1,000 is going to contribute to the household for food and everything. And really, the surplus that she has is now he or she is not tight, and they're able to do things for themselves because the kids are okay. Now, if you see a woman and the kids are not okay, and she is not her own personal stylist or her own personal nail tech, and she's doing he or she is getting pedicures, and he's going on his boys trips and stuff like, and the kids are found in a deficit, then I would say, we need to we need to kind of the payment plan, and I would suggest going back to court and show evidence that, hey, on that day my child wasn't able to be signed up for baseball because he was out doing something for whatever, or I don't know what he was doing, but maybe we need to go ahead and look and see actually fair. He's making more money, or she's making more money now. Now we need to recalibrate on how much we need to pay for the child's livelihood.
Okay. Um, should child support? How do they calculate? Well, before we say how they do calculate it, how much should child support be of the non-custodial parent's income, or how should it be calculated?
They do have a scale. I was married, and from that union there was two children. When we got divorced, they take how much the mother is making, how much the father is making, and you have to tell them all the things that the children are doing, all of that stuff. They take it, they pull it into their calculator, and then they come up with a number that can help, like I was saying earlier, make sure the child still has the same type of lifestyle that they used to have when the family was together. And then also, oftentimes, the mother or the father may have a come up and be able to, now that they're stress free and single out of that relationship, they're making more money, they're able to go back to school, and they're making more money. Again, it is all about the money. Then
Yeah.
again, if you feel as though you're not getting as much money as you need to, you take them back to court. But all of this, looking at what they're spending it on, she's spending her own money, but are your kids are okay? That would be my response. If someone's calculating, are your kids okay? Are your kids getting what they need? Are your kids going through an eviction, or the lights are out, they don't have food? But if those things are taken care of, then it's really not for anyone to start digging in someone's pocket.
Okay. Um, if you want to come to the stage, hit the button. I sent the link, Moolah. If you want to
Hey,
come to the
Moolah.
stage, I'm
I'm
getting a
pretty
blue
sure
reflection.
probably.
Dang. Um, so okay, it's about the income. You know, I looked up the calculation, right, to see how do they actually calculate child support. So I looked that up right quick. This is what I found. There is a formula.
Mhm.
Let me share the screen. Oh, I gotta remove that and then share that. All right. So there is a formula. So according to Chat GPT, typical percentage formula, the flat percentage model, goes like this. If you have one child, it's going to be 17 to 20% of the non-custodial parent's gross income. If you have two children, it goes up to 25%. Three children, 29%. Four, 31 to 35%. And then five plus children, it maxes out at 40%. So the example down below says if a non-custodial parent earns $4,000 a month net income and has two children, child support might be 25% of 4,000, which is 1,000 a month. What's interesting is that it's based off of your net income, so that's what you take home after taxes. So, you know, if you bring home $4,000 after taxes, that means that before taxes you're making more than that, right? Whatever your tax bracket is, you making more than that. But if you bring home 4,000, then if you have two children, it could be 1,000. If you have one child, it could be 1,700, and it just goes up from there. And what's interesting is, they actually, Sophie, they have the calculator and everything. But I wonder, do they use that on celebrities? Like, I
Yeah.
remember Nas was paying something like 20,000, or it was a lot, right, per month. I wonder if they use the same formulas for celebrities that they do for regular lay people. What's up, Moolah? Welcome to the stage, Moolah.
Oh, that's so cute. I want to be on your phone. When you do a
Moolah,
peace sign, it puts balloons up.
yeah, you got us on mute, Moolah. You got to come off mute.
Mhm.
Um, so, Sophie, did that formula sound right to you? Did that look reasonable?
It sounds familiar, but the gag is on the very bottom where where it says the amount of money that the other person, the non-custodial parent, see
Hmm.
where it's at the bottom there.
I'm
That's
so
where you
sorry.
find historically it has been the male parties who will quit their job or stop working or become entrepreneurs, which makes it difficult to find that number. Um, the custodial parent, I would hope, would continue working and doing all that. So if you have the non-custodial person who says, hey, I don't want you to take 30-20%, then what they'll do is maybe quit their job or change jobs. And then you find yourself going back to court, back to court. And if you're an entrepreneur, there's no real way. Now, I know in Georgia, I've heard that some judges say, you're not working or you're indigent, you're still on the hook to figure it out because you don't have any children living with you. You need to figure it out, and by any means necessary, this is your amount, or you can spend time in jail. Which I don't. That's to me a real question: is should somebody have to go to jail?
I mean,
Um,
damn, you can't support the child when you're behind bars, not earning no money.
yeah, and then it gives you a record. So all of that, it could be used as a teachable moment, but I feel like it does kind of hinder them. I support the suspending of the license and all of those things. Um, but the jail time, I just feel like, you know, it makes it even harder for them. And hopefully it'll be I'm not sure how long they have to stay in jail, depending on the amount. But to answer your question, that's where people begin to get upset when they start looking at how much money you make.
Yeah. Moolah, you were saying that you don't believe in child support.
Well, hey, first off, how you doing?
Hey, Moolah.
Yeah,
Welcome. Talk to
I
us.
don't even believe in child support because it reminds me of the county. The child's still missing the absent parent that they need. So child support is like an easy way out of having to really physically take care of your child. That's one for me. So I feel like if I have to go through all that and then you're still not going to give me what it really, you know what I'm saying, what really matters, then there's no point in even getting it. Because you can send someone for child support. Let's say that the father isn't making much. You know what I'm saying? Um, excuse me. So instead of him taking care of his child, are able to purchase things for the child. You didn't just want the child support for $50, $120. You know what I'm saying? And the child is still missing. what it actually needs, which is a parent, a two-home parent. When it comes to the actual child support, if it has to come down to that, I don't have them issues, because I just figure if you ain't helping me while we're together, you damn sure ain't gonna help me while we ain't together. So there's no point of crying about it because it still got to get done, right? But to go to your question, does the money go to the child or to the parent? I'm still a firm believer that what you receive for that child still goes to that child. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like if a parent was to decease, right, was to pass away, where you getting the income from? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That child still has to be taken care of.
Social
You
Security.
know, so
Well,
right, even well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I
Oh
was
no,
gonna
I was
say,
interrupting. You said, "Where's it come from?" I know it comes from Social Security. Whatever
Yeah,
the person was making, the child now will start receiving the
the
deceased
social,
parent's Social Security.
right? Because when my dad passed away, I was receiving a certain amount of income until a certain age. Then there was stipulations and things of that nature that had to happen, right?
Mhm.
But when you really think about it, if the parent was to die or pass was to be deceased, I would say for the proper word, all that money you still gonna manage money management to make sure you can still take care of that child. You see what I'm saying? Like I don't believe there's no such thing as extra money.
Mhm.
hmm
There's no such thing as extra money because something's gonna always need to be done, whether it's a car note, car insurance, and things that's happening now with inflation. Ain't no such thing as extra money.
right.
You're not receiving food stamps. That money got to go to food. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how old that child is, and how much they're growing and how fast they're eating, most of your money going to food.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then you have to think about the clothing, right? As they get older, things get higher. You know what I mean? So now you have to really contribute that money to that child because you still got to pay rent and or mortgage. So when it comes down to money management, now it's about saving. You know what I'm saying? Putting money in the savings account. That's where that money should be going. Because if your plan is for the child to go to college or to a trade school, and let's say they financial aid only covers so much. You know what I'm saying? What if they didn't get a scholarship or something? You still want to put that money that's given to them to the side.
Well, I mean, that's assuming they're surplus because, as Sophie was saying, a lot of times it's not any surplus. That money, that $1,000, that 500, that 700, that 1,200, that 300. My dad back in the day, like I'm over 50, so when I was younger than 18, I think my father only had to pay $350 for two kids, right? And I know it's more now. You know what I'm saying? But um, that money was just supplemental. It wasn't it wasn't going to break the bank, right? So as Sophie was saying, a lot of times it's not even enough money. But Ms. Mo Better said, I have a friend whose baby daddy quit his job because he didn't want to pay child support.
Mhm.
I mean, I definitely have heard of that. So we've got two sides of the scale. We got some men or some non-custodial parents, or let's say men, that will quit their jobs because they don't want to be in the system. You have some custodial parents, some women usually, that will not even charge the man child support. They won't put them on the books because they don't believe in the court system. They'll just say, hey, just do your part and I ain't going to put you on child support. Then there's the women that are like, he ain't going to do his part. I got to make him.
Mhm.
I'm gonna put him on child support, no questions asked, because he just a deadbeat. He ain't gonna do his part unless he's forced. And then there's women that say, hey, as long as if you doing your thing, I'm not gonna get involved with all of that. I've even known women that have divorced a man and said, I don't want your money, and they just did it on their own. Um, and then there's the ones that don't want to work, even though they're getting child support. They're using that support to actually pay for their own bills, and there's an argument there. So, any comments before I play this video? Because I got two
It's two
videos I want to
separate
play.
things.
Talk to me.
Visitation and child support is two separate things. So even if he's not paying child support, he still can come and pick up his child or children or her children every other weekend. That's you can, and then as the custodial parent, you cannot withhold the child from the non-custodial parent if they're not paying child support because it's two separate things. So there are some men who will, because even though he can't maybe afford all of it or doesn't pay little to none, will still make sure that when he can on his allotted time come pick up his kids. And that does help offset for the mother. I would say that the picking up the children and taking care of them, that's to me is the part that benefits the mother, so that, or the father, so that said person doesn't have to be mother and father. So the custodial time that you have with them during the summer, every other weekend, helping out, dropping them off, or cheerleading, whatever practice, that helps, I would say, the custodial parent. The finances, regardless whether you pick them up or not, at least I know I'm going to have $1,000 or however much money that's coming in. That's going to help me to now offset, because I don't have anybody else. I mean, I may have to pay a babysitter. I may have to maybe take a lesser paying job, and I work in HR. So when somebody, Miss Mobetta was talking about people quit their jobs, they quit because it takes a good maybe a month or two to get the person enrolled into child support, and then alerting them that, hey, we got a child support order for you. Your next paycheck, this is, they would already know because they get a letter in the mail, and then we make the phone call or the email and saying, hey, John, or hey, Cynthia, effective immediately, this is what's going to happen.
And
so
they'll
when they
garnish
get
your
the job,
paycheck.
it slows it down. We got to go ahead and find them again and then get them reinstated.
And they'll garnish your paycheck too, right? If you have a job and you're not paying, they'll garnish the non-custodial parent's paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
Christine asked me, she said, Dave, this is Panama Princess. Dave, what are your thoughts on child support? Do you think it should all be for the kids, or do you think the mom should also have some room for herself in the midst of being a single parent? All right, so before I answer that, I do want to play 2 videos. I have one video here. These are 2 different scenarios. So the first scenario, I'm gonna play the one. Yeah, I'm gonna play this one because this one is interesting. This one is part 3. It's a judge, and the judge is awarding child support. And in awarding child support, the judge has to ask the single mom, a few questions. All right. So let's see what the judge says to the single mom, and look at the single mom's reaction.
My rent.
Hold on.
You don't want to work? No.
Can y'all hear that?
So you're just
Nope.
living off of his child support. I am. And we live with our mother. And you're proud of that?
Here we go with the sound issues, Sophie.
It's okay. Mm-hmm.
Man.
You're pretty.
Hold
I heard it.
You heard it? Hold up.
Yeah, she was asking her she said, so do you want to work? She said no. She said, we live with our parents. She said, are you proud of that?
So let's see.
You don't want to work? No.
Wait, so y'all can hear that?
Off of his
We
child
can.
support. I am. And we live with our mother. And you're proud of that?
Well, we were living with him, and I was a stay-at-home mom. He made the income.
Okay.
But, I mean...
But you can work now, right?
I can, but...
So, it's no but you can go get a job, right?
I could, but I'm not going to. My rent's free. My food is free. I mean, my mom's the homeowner. We don't have to pay nothing.
Okay. I'm not going to go there with you today because you can... Obviously, you're able to work.
I'm able, but I
and
don't
you
want
should work, but again, that has nothing to do with me today. What we're going to do is talk about the modification of these numbers, all right? So your income has increased. It's increased about almost $400. So based on you saying that you receive about $90,000 on the high end, it brings your gross to about $7,500, which your net is $5,465.22. That would bring, health insurance. Who covers health insurance?
I do.
And how much is that?
It's $110 a month.
Okay, 110. So what I'm going to do is give you credit actually for the health insurance coverage for the child. So that would slightly bring your child support down. And monthly, yes, slightly. It's still expensive. $1,093 a month is what he would pay in child support.
That's it?
That's it. Well, it would be more if you get a job.
He would pay more if I got a job?
No, it would be more for the child if you got a job.
Your Honor.
Ma'am, no.
You don't understand.
No, you don't understand. I'm basing his child support increase off of what it is that he makes. Nothing
he
more.
Makes more
nothing,
than that.
Until you bring me something in here to show me that, that's what I'm going to base it off of. And again, you can work.
Can
so
I say something?
No, ma'am. Only thing I need you to say is, Miss Vonda B, I'm going to go find me a job. That's all I want to hear. If it's anything else other than that, I'm not entertaining it. Pertaining to what I just said, do you have any questions?
I will go look for a job. But please,
Great.
Please hear me out on one thing.
What is it? Make it quick.
I promise you I'll make it quick. Let's say that you have a battery operated vibrator.
You know what?
What?
We're done right there. We're done. Is
You're-
there anything
You're
further?
about to
What is this lady
climax.
talking about?
Okay. Well,
The
ma'am-
batteries go out.
Okay, thanks.
She basically saying he's a person where the batteries go out. Whatever her point was with that. This is interesting. There's a woman here that didn't work, lived with her mom. The child support was whatever it was, and it got reduced to $1,090 or $1,009. She was basically not working, living with her mom, and she even said, "I ain't got to pay no rent. I ain't got to pay no bills. This is supporting my lifestyle. And why should I work?
Mhm.
He got to pay anyway. That's what he's supposed to do his job. Why should I work?" Now, reactions, lady, this woman is receiving child support based on whatever his income was. So legally, they figured that out. But she's using it to live. Now, is that using it for the child by nature of her having the child? Or is this woman really taking advantage of the system and being lazy and using it as an excuse not to work? That's how I see it. What y'all think?
I'm gonna say I agree with you because, look, you already told on yourself when you said you live at your mama house. You don't gotta pay for nothing. You're practically free. What you're saying to the judge, and I caught, was that when you was married, keyword, when you was married, you didn't have to work. So
Mhm.
whatever y'all did or whatever caused y'all to divorce, which I would have divorced their ass anyway. I'd rather pay you $1,000. I'm gonna keep it 100 because if you look at her demeanor as a single woman, when you was married, I could imagine the burden on this man. You know what I'm saying? So in her case, that $1,000 damn sure go to the kid because you already
Mhm.
said that you live for free.
Mhm.
All your food and accessories and stuff like that is paid for.
Mhm.
You know, your mom is a homeowner, right? So that means on your end, you're providing the roof, and granny's involved. Now daddy's gone out of the home. Granny steps up. Now most of the burden is on her. You ain't giving her nothing. And then now that the judge awarded that $1,000, yes, that goes to the kid. You taken care of, baby. So it don't matter if you
Yeah.
need your nails did. I mean, go get a job. Go get a job. Take care of your accessories and necessities by yourself. But that 1,000 and whatever change go to that child because you're already taken care of. You and the baby's already covered as far as just a roof. But as far as your food and whatever else, that ain't his problem. You ain't got no drawers. That's not his problem. You don't got no bras. That's not his problem that you need your hair did. That was never part of child support. Once y'all leave, my money is strictly go to that child, and I'm still active, and I'm paying insurance. So I say in that case, it's definitely just for the child. Like that's for sure for the child. You know, and no matter how she want to look at it, that's for the child expenses for shoes, clothes, and both and food. Nobody should have to pay. If y'all wasn't living in a 2-parent home, both of y'all would still be having to provide. Well, he'll be still providing food for that child. So it's your job to feed the baby. I gave you the money. You know.
Sophie, what you think about this situation, Sophie?
Okay, let me just recalibrate. The judge, what she's not saying is what we discussed prior to seeing the video. She's using that sliding scale. So since the number is 0, she has nothing to multiply it by. So, and what I would have liked was what she really wasn't disclosing, because she was really trying to protect the gentleman and asking him as much information as he can to really help him. He's paying for health insurance, all those things. All of those things are added into that number of his net payment, and then it's deducted. So if he had said, I pay for soccer, this, that, and the other, then those numbers would have started going down. And then she was correct in saying, if you were working, then I could say, okay, well, she's only making $50,000. You're making this percent. So that's kind of what judges, what the judge was not saying. And the lady seemed like she wasn't catching on to it. And she thinks, and it's actually a trick, because as soon as she does get a job, his number is gonna go down, you know, and she'll be able to use her money because she's not paying anything at her mom's house out of her own mouth, that she will be able to take care of and offset the money that he was giving.
And so then therefore the child would have more because two incomes are better than one.
Yes.
Essentially. So yeah, that lady was, you know, that's taking advantage. You know, to me, that's taking advantage of the system. That's someone that's saying, oh, okay, I got 1,000 coming in every month. Cool. I can now not work. Hey, mom, me and you, we don't have to work. We got our bills paid. Don't worry about it. Or whatever, right? Now, I could just imagine if he was Nas and he was paying $20,000 a month, or pick anybody who had a child support settlement that was in the tens of thousands or more. There, like Kanye, right? There's so much money based on the person's income. At some point, don't no child need $1 million a year to live and be taken care of. No child. Like maybe that's the lifestyle you provided because you were a billionaire. Maybe your child goes to all of these schools and all of that. But I just can't imagine one child needing $1 million a year.
It's possible. It can be possible for a layman.
Keyword for me is
private
needing.
school. Excuse me?
Keyword for me is needing. They don't need it. They don't need $1 million a year to live.
But it is still possible for a layman. I remember when my 3 children, when they were going to private school, it was about $25,000 a year. You know, that's just a regular church, you know, a church school, not including the uniforms and all the other stuff. So when you add a certain lifestyle, a certain neighborhood, a certain caliber of when you're a celebrity, the security, the private schools, the clothes, the horseback riding, all the things that those children, the music lessons, dance lessons, all of that stuff that they have grown accustomed to. I think some of these millionaires' children, and they have it. For those that have it, go completely off. And I think that the non-custodial person should get it, because it really isn't fair if the father or the mother is living in a lower grade neighborhood and then they go over to the other parent's house, and it's a completely different, you know, environment. So it should somehow balance up. Now, I'm not going to fund your house or fund vice versa, but the child should not, especially if one person has it. Again, it goes back to that sliding scale. If you make more money, then, and you chose to have a lot of kids with that person, and I'm being very careful. I hope somebody will give me some kudos by not just saying male or female, because I do know a lot of women that I call them that are indigent, and they have lost, you know, custody of their children, and they're either unable to, or they just don't want to work, and they act as if they can't pay child support. So it goes really equally, especially in Atlanta. I'm just surprised on how many women don't have custody of their children, and then on top of that, don't want to pay child support. And all of a sudden, they're just trying to sell lip glosses or act like they're entrepreneurs, so that they don't have to have a consistent number to pay child support. And men are out there struggling, trying to take care of their kids, and a lot of girl children. And it's difficult. Hello, chat. Y'all kind of quiet today.
Yeah, the chat's quiet.
Look and see. Let's look and see.
Hey, shout out to the people that's on Instagram. I see Living Legend watching, Eric watching. Panama Princess was on the gram. She might be over here on YouTube now. We got a couple people in the comments. Let me see. Ms. Mobetta said 5 people. Hit that like button for the host. Appreciate that. She also said, don't get me wrong, I'm pro-woman, but I don't agree with these ladies who spend their kids' child support on them personally. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Now, again, if you're Jeff Bezos, if you're Kanye West, if you're, who else? Nick Cannon, if you're Elon Musk, right, and you have to pay child support, and you're a billionaire, like you got money, right? I can understand, Sophie, if when Kanye and Kim were married, let's say he was paying for the security, the school, the clothes, the flights. Let's say all that added up to $1 million a child. Let's just say $1 million a child, right? A year, $1 million per child per year. So let's say he got 4 kids. I don't know if he got 4 or 5, but let's say $4 million a year is what he was paying when he was married. But based on his income, what if the courts determine, no, Playboy, you need to be paying $25 million a year. You need to be paying $30 million a year, right? 40 million. Let's call it 10 million a kid. 40 million a year. Now, when he was married, as they say, it's cheaper to keep her. When he was married, he might have been paying less out of pocket because the home, everything, all that stuff. Now he's divorced. If the judge just goes off of his income and does that scale we just looked at, 25% could let's say it's $40 million. Let's just say it's $40 million per year. I have an argument when Panama said, "What do I think? Should men pay child support? Should women or non-custodial parents pay child support?" I say yes, but I think there needs to be some legal limit of what you need to pay, and it don't necessarily. When you get up to millionaire status and billionaire status, I think calculating it off of your income, like you're a person making $50,000, it ain't the same thing because a quarter of my income, if I'm pulling in $4,000 a month, I can understand that. But a quarter of my income, if I'm pulling in $100 million, don't no child need no $25 million to live. None.
So
None. Especially when I was living there married, we calculated it's just $1 million a year per child. I'm just using round numbers. So if I'm paying $1 million a year per child, and then the judge says, "Hey, I'm gonna go by this sliding scale, and based on your number, Nas, based on your number, Kanye, based on your number, Denzel, or whom he ain't divorced, but Paul McCartney, you now got to pay $25 million a year." I'd be like, "Judge, you got to use some reasonableness because that number came off of a formula which doesn't apply to me because of the level of income that I have." I would argue that. What would you say to that? Like a limit?
I would still say the same thing. And that in that instance, then that's a surplus. So the non-custodial parent would need to just do things as they normally would. And if there is funds left over, that's when you put it into a trust, you put the money away, and you do all those things, because the child support is only going to last up until when the child's 18. I've heard of it going up until at least 25 if the child chooses school, and then it's done. So then what's going to happen to the child when they're not on child support, but the child's now an adult and they can ask the parent, "Hey, for whatever it is." But if you had put money aside, that'll help you to get your own mansion, if you want to have a business, that'll help you start whatever it is that they have their children do. But there some people and who are in different tax brackets want an exception. And we see that with our president, that just because you make a lot more money, there's an expectation that there's certain things that you should not have to do like the regular people. But I like the law, and I feel like if you choose to put your person, because your person, if you choose to put your partner on child support, there should be a good reason. Some women and men use it to be spiteful, and to be honest, the court does not want to be involved in your business. They would love for people to go ahead and just come to an agreement and just rock with it. They put that in place. They putting them in jail in place because some people have to have that timeout to have the reset button. And unfortunately, especially for people of color, I know there's only because that's only the people that I have heard of really being adamant about not being on child support, is because they use that as yet another tool to lock up the Black and brown people. Not saying that the other color, the other shades, non-melanated people don't get locked up as well, but that's just yet another layer that you're giving to them.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. The system, again, if you Black and you brown in America, the rules that apply for mainstream don't necessarily apply to you. So they're gonna come down hard on deadbeats and things like that. You have to pay all this kind of money. Now, I like what you said about surplus, Sophie, because if I'm Kanye West or any, billionaire, and I'm paying 25 million a year for my kids, I would love for the surplus to go to some fund, college fund, right? Trade school fund, some trust fund, so that when they do turn 18 or whatever the age is where they can receive the rest of the money, they can now start their life with it. I would rather it be that versus I'm paying 25 million a year. It's costing you 4 million a year to take care of our children because that's what it cost when we were together. And you just got 21 million a year to ball out on. I would prefer that 21 million going in some sort of trust. The mom can't get to it, or the mom can only get to it for expenses related to the child. When you have an HSA card, when you go to the pharmacy and you run that card, it's only going to ring up for charges related to healthcare. It ain't going to ring up for a steak. It ain't going to ring up. It don't even ring up for certain things like I don't know,
regular food. It
Food,
only
right?
rings up for medical expenses, Tylenol, wraps for your elbow, and a knee patch. It brings certain things.
Yeah, because I just don't want. I'm not trying to take no money away from my child. And to be honest, if my ex, and I don't have no children, by the way, but hypothetically, if I have an ex that's taking care of my children, I do want that ex to be able to, do things. All right, look, man, you need a better apartment, need a better place, got to get a home. The kids need this, that, and the third. You're a single mom now, so you need a little extra for food. I understand that, right? I'm just talking about the abusive situations where the numbers are so out of line and the custodial parent is using it as a way to punish and abuse. I ain't trying to sound MAGA, but waste, fraud, and abuse. The word they're using these days. You know what I mean? I just would love to avoid that because I don't want nobody having to not work to avoid the system, right? You should take care of your children. Destiny made a point. Destiny said joint custody solves all of this. Yeah, because joint custody, if y'all both joint custody, it reduces the amount that the non-custodial has to pay because both of you have custody. You're sharing custody. So the amount of child support now is only dependent upon a difference in income, if I'm not mistaken.
Joint custody, it solves it for the parents, but it egregiously hurts the children. People who travel for work, I've heard of them saying after a while it gets old. Jumping on an airplane or packing up and unpacking and doing all of that. There's friends that you may make in mom's neighborhood that you don't have in the other neighborhood. And it's so that there's no stability. And after a while, even that gets old. And even when you have joint custody, where's the child's primary residence going to be? So again, the custody and the sharing of the time is two separate things. There is the child support, and then there's custody. So you may have a primary custodial parent, but they still have joint custody. That's where you get the every other weekend or however you really can discuss this when you're in court. Also, even try and duke it out, if you would, on the amount. The father can even try and just say however he feels and however she feels. And also there's something that's called discovery. So if you feel like he or she is getting BBLs or spending his money at a strip club, then you can ask for discovery. And they bring all the finances together and they can see where there's a misappropriation of the fund.
Of the funds. Yeah. Destiny also said, by the way, my wife is a lawyer, y'all. If y'all don't know, she's coming from an actual lawyer standpoint. She said 50-50 custody, everybody pays their half, exchange the kids without a bag. Okay. And she also said you can move closer in the same neighborhood. And you know what's funny? I think you said this, Sophie. Parents that move closer in the same neighborhood, I commend them because they're not being selfish. You know, they could say, hey man, we're divorced, F you and F them kids. I'm gonna pay my amount. I'll come get them in the summertime. And that's it. You got them the rest of the time or whatever. They could play that card and just be selfish. But parents that move into the same neighborhood or close, you know, down the street, a couple miles away, that's a blessing because now it makes the exchange of custody when you have to, you know, share custody. It makes it easier to exchange. Say, okay, you going to dad's house this weekend or dad's house on Wednesday. Okay, ma, it's just easier to go, you know, pick the kids up and, you know, drop them off at the crib. When y'all live in two separate counties, you know, or, you know, in the city of Atlanta where it's a freaking hour and a half anywhere you go in Atlanta to drive, right? You know, when you in LA, it's 2 hours if you got to go from Orange County to LA. It's like if two parents are closer, it makes the handoff easier. If you live far away or in a different state, then it just makes it harder.
I humbly disagree.
Let me qualify. Logistically, it could and it should make it easier.
30
It don't
minutes.
mean
30 minutes, 45 minutes, make the drive. If you've got getting a divorce, and I'm divorced, is one of the most, I'm sure there's other things, the most selfish thing that you have to do, because at some point in time, you love someone, and at this point you don't, and you have to choose yourself. For people who are religious, it's like, you know, some say God approves it, some say he doesn't, but it is one of the most selfish things. Now, if you add children into the mix of it, you have to choose yourself above your partner and now above the children. You know, you may not say it like this, but you're saying, hey, I'm going to do this for me and I'll figure out the kids later. You kind of have to in order to remove yourself. So when you divorce someone, I don't know of anybody who wants to be divorced from their partner with no kids and y'all are 40, 50 minutes away. You don't want to go to the grocery store and run into them. You really just need the complete space. And the same way you can drive to work for an hour, it's not that hard logistically, especially when you're doing it every other week. And the kids really are resilient because they're not the first and they're not the last to be a product of a divorced family. And there's been a lot of successful people. I would even say now in this day and age, more people are successful because the single parent or the parents who have figured out how to work it out try even harder to make sure that they fill up the gap because they know that there's a deficit in the home. So the type of men that I roll with, they pay child support and they do pick up and drop off when necessary. And they go ahead and take the child even when they know she's out on a date. They rather my child be with me than be over at a nanny's house or auntie or uncle's house. And it is even the reverse. I would speak for myself. I know good and well he's not, but if he don't pick them up, I am completely okay with keeping my kids here. Logistics is logistics. I don't want to bump into you. I don't want to see you because we're divorced. And that is something that we need to have our space. Kudos to people who I just don't even, I can't give you kudos. I don't want you driving by or seeing who's in the driveway. And I don't want to be, no, it's just, I want you to stay far
the
away.
wrong sound effect. I tried to hit this one. I tried to hit that. She's like, bump the kudos. No, I'm not giving y'all no kudos. I don't want to see. And you know what?
Christina, look what Christina had to say.
Yeah, she said some parents that are divorced stay living together to avoid making the kids feel. Now, hold on one damn second.
I know.
No,
where's my no button?
That's when we need to pull the car. Man, listen, I'm gonna tell you something.
No.
One more time, Sophie.
No. No. No.
Yes, my no button. Oh,
woo,
no.
Lord Jesus. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Look, you know what? And now we're getting into the other part. I'm gonna go back to child support, but while we're on divorce, you know, I'm divorced, remarried, right? Thank God, found my queen, my destiny. But you're right. When I was a foster parent of my niece and nephews, when me and my ex first separated, we were not trying to talk. Mm-hmm. Like, I tried to call for the kid's birthday, for Christmas, you know, all that, Thanksgiving. She playing some story. She said I ran off with some actress and I didn't care about them kids and I deserted everybody, which none of that was true. But the point is, she wasn't trying to talk to me. And then once I got working and I was like, all right, fine. You don't want to talk? Cool. Then a year later, she want to talk. I ain't had nothing to say. So I totally get early divorce. I don't want to see that person. I don't want to run into you at the grocery store. I don't even want to see you when it's time to hand the kids off. Like, don't say shit to me. Right. I get that. So you brought up a good point, that not all co-parents can co-parent peacefully. Not all co-parents can be at peace. Because, and then, we won't even talk about like domestic violence where the husband was violent and then the wife really can't be around the man because you never know when he may try something dumb. You know what I'm saying? So it's all of those situations. So you're right. There are times when, you have to drop the kids off at a mutual place. There has to be someone there for the handoff, because it could get really bad. So yeah, I feel that. I feel that for sure. Now, having said that, I still am going to go back to, I think there should be some level or legal way to prevent a custodial parent from taking advantage of the extra money and just let's say balling out, or let's say not working.
It's discovery. That is the legal way. It's discovery. If you feel for any reason that you've noticed an upgrade, what I don't know about is if the person gets married, and now if they're married to somebody and together they're making more money together, if you can say, hey, well, now he's married and they're making X amount of money. I don't know about that part, but I knew if the person is single, discovery is what you would need to do. If at any point that you feel like there's a misappropriation of funds, I would suggest that you discovery to pull their Cash App. It pulls Cash App too, Venmo. It pulls all of that, or you can request it. It pulls all of that. Then also, I would ask that you show proof. If you feel the child is not getting what they need when they come to your house, take pictures, do all those things, and then go to court. If you feel like you're unjust, they have that scale. The scale is not going to change. It's because we don't like it. It's because we feel like we make a bunch of money. The scale is a scale, but there are, I'm not going to say loopholes, but there are things that you can try and do to protect yourself.
Yeah.
And it's 18 years or 20 up to 25,
I didn't know it went up to 25, Sophie. That's news on me.
Yes, it may be a little bit less than that, but
yeah.
And then if you have a disabled
if they go to college,
you have a child who's disabled, a child who is never going to leave the home. There's all these different stipulations, but I know somebody talking about living in the same household, living in my basement. No, the kids will be unless the house is a huge no. I don't want you in my house. Hearing any noise. I don't want to hear your noises, and I don't want you to hear my noises.
Ms. Mobetta said, there's a couple from my church in that situation now. They adopted a child when she was born and separated, but still live together for the child's sake. They adopt, Man, let me tell you something. Don't adopt unless you know you in a happy marriage, damn it.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
That's a tough one.
Let me play this this clip. Now, this other clip here, Sophie. All right.
You know me.
This one was interesting. This one was interesting. Let me find the clip. This one was interesting, and this is the one that really made me do this episode tonight. Where is it? Help me, Lord Jesus. Where is it? All right, we already did the lazy mom. Hold on. There it is. Okay, boom. Okay. No, that's us. No, I don't want to share us. I want to share the other one.
Oh, we can see what you're looking at in your glasses.
Okay.
That's you and Destiny. No, I'm teasing. I can just see the reflection. I can't see any details.
Hold on, I'll do that. It's warm in here. All right, let me actually find the one. Share screen.
Yeah, but it's not unheard of that. I've heard of people, to Christine's point, where they live together, or it takes some time to, especially when you have younger children, I would even say older ones too, to help them acclimate. So there's, for those of you who are doing it or are thinking about getting divorced and think about the whole process, you just do what works. You ready? works good for you. And a lot of decisions that you make now in the beginning, try and think or ask around people to see how it worked for them. Because sometimes even allowing the person to come into your house, for pickup and drop off, it may be good for now, but how would that be if you were to get remarried? Do you still want the person coming in? And let me know when you're ready. I'm just kind of filling in the gap. I know it was
No. You good. You good. I see
Oh,
somebody
okay.
new to the stage.
Yeah, all these things that we're thinking about for now, that it may make it uncomfortable when you start dating in the future. How are you going to date someone? I had a friend of mine who, when he got divorced, he was living in the basement, and then women just would not believe him that he was actually divorced, because he was and they had a pretty big house, and they were in the basement, and he ended up kind of being, even though we were dating, kind of like my coach. When I got divorced, I was like, well, it's okay for him to come and drop the kids up at the house, and he was like, I don't need him coming and seeing my license plate, and so said,
Right.
so done. Whenever the partner did see a license plate, they were running stuff, trying to do background checks and all those type of things on the person. So just for your privacy, I'm with the side that leans towards you live where you live. I live where I live. Let both of us have our space.
I feel you. Hey, I want to welcome to the stage my man Superman Dre. I had to mute you, Dre. All right, you unmuted now. What's up, Dre?
What's going on, man? Like I said, I'm sorry. Lately, I have a 9-month-old. She just turned 9.
Hey,
and,
congrats.
If you can hear in the background right now, it's just Miss Rachel time. So
no, it's all good. So thanks for joining. You actually jumped on right as we were going to the clip that I put in the chat. So the question today is child support. Should the mom use it for their lifestyle? I'm gonna bring this up so y'all can see it. Let's make it that big. All right, child support. Should moms use it for their lifestyle? Should moms use it for lifestyle? Now, me and Sophie, we talked about a couple different scenarios, Dre. We talked about should there be a certain amount that the courts calculate? How do they calculate? We pulled up the formula. If you have one child, it could be 17 to 20% of your net income. If you have two children, it can be 25%, and it just went up from there. And what I was saying to Sophie was, if I'm making $4,000 and I got two children, and they want me to pay 25%, that's $1,000. I understand that. But if I'm Jeff Bezos, if I'm Kanye, if I'm some billionaire, and when I was married, this is the scenario I painted, Dre. Let's just say I'm married. I got 4 kids. Each kid cost me $1 million a year because we got private schools, the mansion, we got security. It's $1 million a year per child when I'm married. $4 million if I got 4 kids. I get divorced. The courts say you got to pay $25 million a year because of your income, Mr. West. I'm like, don't no child need $25 million a year, especially when that child was doing fine off of my $1 million a year, right? So Sophie already gave her answer as what to do, but I'm gonna ask you: should the courts have a man pay that much money? Should there be a limit? Should there be a upper limit on what you can pay for a child? Or should it just all be based on your personal income? And if you're a billionaire, you're just a billionaire, and you got to spend what you spend.
I think that if you're a billionaire, you should spend more. But with that being said, I don't think it should be like if I'm spending $1 million a year on my child or whatever. I don't think it should go up to 25 million. No, that child was doing fine with the million and doesn't need to have 25 million. For what reason? I don't know. Now, I don't believe that they should lose what you were already giving them because they're used to a certain type of lifestyle. You've gotten them used to that, so they deserve that. Now, do I think they deserve 25 million? I'm not going to say my child doesn't deserve it.
Right.
What I'm saying is I was taking care of my child without spending 25 million when I was with my wife, who helped out with whatever I'm doing or with the family. Now that we're separate, why am I paying $25 million for that?
Which was kind of my point, right?
On top of that, they want you to pay spousal support too. Now, if I'm paying spousal support,
Mhm.
and why am I paying all this extra money if I'm paying spousal support? Because that money should not be going to the child support money should not be going to the wife. Now, the spousal,
Boom.
if she spousal support, why does she need extra money for the child to fund her lifestyle or whatever?
So let's keep the scenario that I kept with Sophie.
Mhm.
There's no spousal support.
Okay.
But now you got to pay $25 million a year for your 4 kids instead of the $4 million that was perfectly fine when you were married. Courts did the math based on a formula, $25 million. What should happen to the surplus? Should the mom be allowed to say, "Hey, I'm raising these. I'm a single mom. I need the money for incidentals," or, "Hey, I want to go to San Tropez. I want to go to Italy. I want to go to Greece. I want to start a clothing line. I want to have my own, whatever she's doing with her money." Right, with the money for the kids. Should the mom be allowed to spend that surplus on herself in lieu of saying, "Hey, the kids are good, so I'm gonna spend the rest on me"? Or should something else happen to that money legally that can stop the mom from taking advantage of the extra? I mean, she's still getting the extra, but she herself can't touch it legally. Should something be done, or should she be allowed to have the freedom to do whatever she wants with it?
Well, something should be done. The reason why I say something should be done is simply because of this. It's called child support, not mother-children support. It's called child support. It's not for you to fund your life or anything like that. That's why you have certain things such as spousal support. If it's just child support, it's just child support. It's not saying, "Oh, I'm giving money for my child, but what am I looking at you as my child also?" No, I'm not.
Right. Me and Sophie did the little we did the sip at the same time.
Same time. You're like, oh.
We're becoming talk show hosts, Sophie. We must be on the same page.
Yes.
So, Sophie, tell Dre what you said. The surplus what could be done with the surplus?
I think that if there was ever a time that there's the custodial parent is seeing that there's an overage, I'm going to add to it. They could either go back to the courts and say, "Hey, this is too much," on behalf of the other parent. That's the easiest way. Or if they want to go ahead and keep it, they could put it into a trust fund. They can put it into a savings account for the child. So when the child becomes of age, because child support is only going to be up until a teen, and in some cases, maybe 20, 21, 20, 25 is the number that I was saying. It may go to that part and then it's done. Then the child is on their own if they decided to go to school or not. So if there is a surplus, then those funds should go into, my children have savings accounts. But I don't, that's a whole nother story, but from off of my paycheck that I put money aside, for them so that they can, there's things that they want, their allowance comes out of it and things like that. But if there's a surplus, I would suggest that they put it into a trust fund. So when the child becomes of age, whether they choose not to become, to go to college, they can get a car, an apartment, a condo, and just things like that. If there is millions like that, that is being shared. Oh, Dave, I can't hear you.
Hello.
Hey, Yvette, welcome to the stage. Welcome to the stage, Yvette. Welcome.
Aw. Hey, so
All right. So look, since we got more people on, I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all. Sorry for the bleed out. I don't know. My camera just making me bleed out today. So I look like
The lights.
I look like
Mine is
UV.
doing it too. Like my mouth is like blurred away. I don't know.
Yeah.
I should have put something on before I jumped on. I just jumped on. It's been a day, man. Oh my gosh.
Tell us about it. Does it have to do with child support?
I wish I was getting some. I ain't even getting none.
Oh no.
None.
Crying emoji.
Oh Lord, none?
No, I ain't getting none. No.
Wait. So Yvette, did you go and ask for child support, or was it something related to his income? Or did you just not ask?
Okay, so I have two sons. One of their father was killed, and
I'm
then
sorry to hear that.
thank you, and my other one I was married to, and he did not. He was in the military, and when he got out, I was like, hey, look, while you get yourself accoladed back into society, how about just give me said so amount of money, and and I won't go do the court thing. Nope. It was always my car, my this, my that, whatever. So I was like, wow, okay. I didn't have the time to sit there and fight. I really didn't have the time to go back and forth in court because now I had 2 babies to feed, and I'm down here in the state by myself with my family and the support all up there. So it was about just run and go towards my dreams, and that's what I did. And you know what? I got 2 well-adjusted young men. I'm cool. I mean, it ain't right, because my thing is, you're gonna have to meet your maker one day, and you got to answer for why you didn't do what you know you were supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have those babies by myself.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
that makes sense. I'm gonna play the video because I want y'all to see this. All right, so this is a video. It's really the main one for tonight. This is a video of a man who's married. Now he's married, and he's paying child support for his children outside of the marriage. And the woman that he's married to, I believe her name is Kia. Kia has a baby father, and she wants to put the baby father on child support. And then a serious conversation ensues. So I'm going to play this so we can see what they talking about. And then y'all tell me what your thoughts are.
Wife feel like it's a good idea to put her child father on child support when we don't need the money. You already see what that do to me. Why you want to put him through that?
Because I need his money.
Need the money for what, kid? What you need the money
stuff
for?
That I'm trying to do. Like, I'm trying to, like, go on a vacation and stuff like that. Like, it's stuff that I need. So, like, he needs to pay me something. Give me something.
You do know that child support is not for you, right?
Technically, it is. It is.
Please explain to me how child support is for you.
I need the money to make sure I'm good and make sure my baby good.
Okay, but we don't need the money. Your baby's good. I take care of you and your kids.
Okay, but I still want his money at the end of the day.
For what though? What you need it for?
Well, why are you so upset about it though? He ain't hurting, I don't think.
It ain't about him hurting. It's the principle. You see what it's doing to me? I'm on child support for my other kids. Yet I still take care of you and yours. Okay. So what you need his money for? You trying to do that shit to another man? The same thing going on with me.
You a better man.
It don't matter, kid. What you mean? I'm a better man. You about to put this through the same stuff you put me.
And as he should. He deserve it. And I need to make sure that my hair and everything stay done. Simple. So now what? You gonna keep defending him?
It ain't that I'm defending him.
Keep on. You gonna be next.
Oh, that's how you. That's how you feel.
Well.
Oh, that's how you. It's just how you get down. So my.
So she basically said, look, he need to pay the money because he need to pay the money. And I need to get my hair done. And I need to make sure I'm straight so I can make sure my baby's straight. And he's like, hey, I pay all the bills. I take care of your kids and mine. You see what the child support's doing to me with the other joint. I got to pay that. Why would you put another man through what you see your husband's going through? She said, yeah, but you're a good man. You're going to pay what you got to pay. So she's trying to make her ex pay. And she's like, I deserve that money. He need to pay. So here's the question for the panel. If your kids are taken care of because your spouse makes enough money for that, your new spouse, should you put your ex on child support? And if so, why? Let's start with Sophie. Hold up, Sophie. Unmute for me.
Yeah, I muted myself. I was hoping to go last. I think she.
You want to go last? You can go last. Let's put Yvette on the spot because Yvette just got here.
Yes.
Let's put Yvette, video lady, on the spot. All right, video lady. You are remarried. You have kids. Your husband makes good money and he's paying for your kids and he's paying child support for his kids. And so the kids are cool. But your ex is being a deadbeat. He ain't paying no child support. And you're like, you know what? That nigga need to pay. My question is, does he need to pay if your kids are good? And if he pays, What you gonna do with the money? Should the money go to the kids only, or you gonna use it like she said to go on vacations, get her hair and nails done?
All right, that's the part that's where she lost me with the getting my hair done and nails. That sound ignorant as hell. I'm just sorry. That's some ignorant blankety blank blank to me. Now, if she was to say, "You are a good man, baby. I appreciate you taking care of me and mine and yours, but I still feel that this man needs to care for the kids that we brought into this world together." And she takes that money and put it into a savings or an investment for those kids when they grow up. Then I'd be like, okay, kudos to you, my sister. But no, she going the ghetto ignorant route. I need my hair, my nails done. But your man that you're married to is taking care of those things. So you're going to take the money from the deadbeat dad, if that's what you want to call him, or just the man the missing dad, the absent dad, whatever you want to call him. You know, so he should pay for having those kids, and the money should go.
He should pay.
He should pay. Yes, he should, but not for her hair and her nails. No, she need to get her own job. Let her man do that.
All right, so check this out. Take the husband away from it. She's now a single mom, but she makes enough to cover her own kids and everybody. Great, she ain't hurting. Should she still take his $1,000 a month?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, again, I just came on here and said mine did not. However, with his money or not, I still had to struggle harder to put a roof over the children's head. I have to put food in their pockets. I got to put clothes on food in their stomachs and clothes in their backs. So I didn't lay down and have those babies by myself. So yes, the man should pay child support. It's not about the woman, but the woman needs to take the money and do the right thing with it. And that's part of the problem. And and they use the kids for leverage, and that's another problem.
So Yvette, okay, you make enough money and your kids are good. You don't really need his money. I'm not saying he shouldn't pay. He should pay. But I'm saying you don't need the money. So now what do you do with the money? Like, okay, he's paying his $1,000 a month. Let's say you making buku, way more than that, and you and your kids are straight. What you doing with the money? You putting it in a fund, or you just adding it to the pot and it helps supplement all the expenses you've been paying for? Real talk.
A little bit of both. I mean, okay. There was a point when my ex was still in the service and I was getting a little something, and I put my son in private school with that money. So he paid for my child to go to private school. You see what I'm saying? It didn't come to me. It went to supplement and put that child into the best position I can put him in life. You know?
Okay. Dre, what's your thoughts?
Well, it's different levels to this. The thing is, first of all, I don't care how much a new man makes. I'm taking care of my own children. Period. If you're fine, you're well off or whatever. Honestly, I don't care what you use the money for. You know what I'm saying? As long as you know that money coming in for my child. If your man got it covered, then go ahead, splurge, do whatever you want to do with the money, because I'm doing my part, and I know I'm doing my part for my children. Also, you have to look at another side of this. Is like, if the man has the child and the woman is supposed to be paying child support, say like they make around the same amount of money, the courts don't really go after the woman as hard as they do the men. And I've learned.
Wait. I'm sorry to interrupt. You're saying that the courts don't come after the men as like they do the women?
They don't go after the women like they do the men.
Oh, the women after they do the men?
The reason I'm saying this because I have a 25-year-old, he'll be 26 on the 23rd, that I raised. You know what I mean? And they make it hard. They make it real easy to go after men, to go after their money, but they make it real hard for men to do what they're supposed to do and take care of their children when they're single dads. You know, so like when I was raising my son, I went back and forth to court, trying to get full custody. First of all, the reason I did that is because when he was with his mother, he wasn't even one at the time. She come rolling the little carriage over to my place, and he had a broken arm. So I'm like, how does a not even 1-year-old has a broken arm? Turns out the guy she was seeing kicked him, you know? So when I took him to the hospital, the child service is looking at me, and they're out there like this, well, what happened?
Right.
I'm trying to figure out what happened too. I don't need y'all looking at me like that. And they said, if I give him back to her and he gets hurt again, they're coming in and taking him from both of us. I said, I didn't need you to tell me that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I said, I didn't need you to tell me that because I already decided she's not getting him again. So what happened is when I went to court and it was a young lady in there sitting in a room with me, and she went up to talk to the judge, and they said, well, where's the father? She said, I have no idea where the father is. He said, okay, you're granted custody, full custody. Then they came to me, they said, okay, where's the mother? I said, I have no idea where the mother is. We're going to give her another opportunity to show up. I was like,
Wow.
wait a minute, what just happened here, right?
Right.
They came up to me 7 times. 7 times. Even when I go to change his name, like they made a mistake on his birth certificate. I go to change his name. They said the mother needs to be here. I said, I haven't seen the mother in a year. You know, they said, well, she needs to be here. I said, I don't even know if she's alive. You need to figure it out. Like it's different. It's different when it comes to when a man has a child and a woman has a child. Now the whole thing about the whole thing, oh, my little girl.
Uh-oh.
The whole thing about what was I saying? Oh, the child support thing. Like I said, I'm going to take care of my child no matter what. But a lot of times they don't go after women the way they do go after men. So sometimes men get a little frustrated with that, and they're like, well, I don't want to do that if they're not going to do that. But at the end of the day, me being a man I'm going to take care of my child no matter what. Like I said, if your man got all this money and he's taking care of everything, fine, I'm taking care of mine, you know. But that's pretty much that.
It's very unfortunate that you went through that. And there are laws that protect the woman because traditionally the woman is the primary caregiver. So when it's going against the non-traditional, as far as the court is concerned, that there are additional loopholes, like putting a notice in the newspaper to show proof that you tried to find them. If they're in the military, going to the company commander, because the military also protects and also wants to protect the spouses and the dependents. And oftentimes the soldiers, and I know Marines are called a different thing, but people who are in the military, they are getting additional funds from having a family.
Yes.
So the military wants to make sure that those funds are properly allocated to the spouse. Certain number of years. If you're married, you get your spousal support. All these different supports are separate things. Child support is one separate thing. Spousal support is separate. And also visitation. They're 3 separate things. You cannot, like I said earlier, you cannot say, I'm not going to let him see the kids because he's not paying child support. No, you'll be held in contempt. So all these things are separate, and there is a lot of things, but oftentimes, like we saw in the very, very first clip, Dre, you didn't get to see it. The judge was speaking to the lady, but she wasn't speaking and telling her flat out what she needed to do. And I suspect that your judges were doing the same thing with you, and they didn't disclose it to you on all of the information that you could have done to show proof that you had, what's the word? When you can either have the police come out to her last address and look for her, or you can have a private investigator try and locate her. All those things, just even 1 or 2 attempts shows that you were trying to find out where she is, and you've contacted 3 people that know her, and they've all said, and you have a written document stating that no one knows where she's at. Bring all of that, and it is going to be expensive and time consuming. It's the discovery process that you have to go through to show proof.
I get that, and I understood that, and I went through that. But my problem is, why didn't the woman have to go through that?
They do.
They supposed to, but they don't push it. Trust me on this. They don't push it like they do on the men. They're supposed to.
I can say the same thing. You know, I feel like I'm thinking my mind is blown because I thought that because everybody talks about how Georgia is a female state. I thought that it was going to be just full custody or all of that. And it's no, they are, it seems like it from what I'm hearing is it's just as equal. They don't want to take the father out of a child's life. just as much as they don't want to take a mother. And you have to show hardcore proof. Even if the person is in jail, they have a certain limit of how many years the person it has to be. There's a lot of things that the court system is modifying, but we have to. And unfortunately, when you have a lawyer who has gone through these type of scenarios over and over again, they can educate you on it. And if you're going at it alone, like I did, I had to learn the hard way. I'm at 6, so I'm right under you on as far as how many times I've come out of the courthouse and my mind is blown, thinking that I'm supposed to win. I have all this stuff, but they, for some reason, don't want to go ahead and give it until it's absolutely deemed necessary.
And I see what Destiny wrote there, and I think that's a New Jersey thing. I really do. I think it goes by state because I too had a friend who mother made more money. She seemed to be more well-rounded. And I mean, and the stuff this man did, I'm like, what? She had to pay this man money. You know, because she was the more of a breadwinner. He had money too, but she made more. So in New Jersey, and I know that's where, you know, Destiny is from. Yeah, they stick it to the women. It's a state-to-state thing. Now here in the South, I think because when I was doing radio, we had a network here called, I forgot the name of it, but it was for men. It was for men it was lawyers for men who were trying to get child support because of the courts did always side with the women. They seem to think that the women were meant to raise the kids and to have the kids. So 9 times out of 10, the woman would always get custody, and the man, no matter what they did, we just had a case right now. But this doctor, she came here to Florida. The husband was trying to get custody of the baby, but she came here to Florida, and then she killed the baby when she got here. Yeah.
I believe it.
So he was trying to get custody, saying that she's a little unstable, but she came here. So this is a free world down here. Do what you want in Florida.
Destiny said that her mom had to pay $40,000 to her brother's father in arrears for child support. And then she said, I don't think men file for child support like women do. It's a double standard. And then Big Dog said, first of all, shout out to Big Dog. I think this is a new follower. If not, it's a new name that I haven't seen on YouTube. Shout out Big Dog. Said it's 2 different courts, one for child support and one for visitation. Men have to go to court and have to stay on top of it. So yeah, I do agree with that. How do we feel? Did we talk about the lady basically saying that she wants to use the money for her lifestyle? I really do have a problem with a person using the surplus of what's left over to better their personal lifestyle, like their hair, their nails. If it's a man, his hobbies, you know, like put that money. I think you said it best, Sophie. Put that money in a trust fund or some sort of fund for the children, so that when they get older and they want to go to college, when they want to go to a trade school, when they need a car, you know, when they are leaving the house and trying to get their own apartment, they have a nest egg to start with. If you got that much surplus in the child support, put that stuff away so the child can have it. Don't just use it to ball out. That's my thoughts on that. You know, and don't be the deadbeat. I'm sorry, Sophie. Don't be the deadbeat that's gonna like not work. Like the first lady we saw, you know, in the child support court earlier, Sophie, the white lady that was like, I don't need to work. He's paying for the child support. I'm good. I can just live with my mama and just use that money to live. I don't agree with that either. Go ahead, Sophie. You want to say something?
I just wanted to normalize because seems like there's an emphasis on hair and nails. I would like for us to normalize women and men, because we could say your car or your golf or your gym routine. Can we just try to normalize the fact that people have to take care of themselves and we don't need your little $200? Because my hair, my nails, my gym routine, it costs way more than your little bit of money. My son has locks. To lock his hair up is $80. To go ahead and cut the undercut is another $45. That's with the tip. to get the baby girl's hair done. So your money really is not covering, and you couldn't while you were with me, and you damn sure couldn't take care of it right now. So hair and nails, that was before you, and these nails are real. These are and I did them myself. Hello, yes, I did. So my hair, I did it myself.
That part.
I don't need you. All of the money, all of it. And I will drain the bank and make sure every month that they are able to go to soccer practice, band practice, and get there on time, get picked up. I'm a part of the PTO, the PTA, and if I could, the CIA, just to make sure the kids are getting what they want. So all of this stuff about she's spending money or he's spending money on all those things. I love what Dre said is, and I deal with men like Dre that they have like a sense of, it's very attractive too, where they're kind of like, yeah, I just went ahead and paid child support. It was like 2 bands, and yet I'm going to go pick him up from baseball. I'm sending him to camp. I'm taking him to Malibu. I want to take him to Dubai with me. That is just so nice that you're paying child support, but on top of it, you're still making sure that your child knows how to walk up to a gas station and there's a bunch of men outside that he can walk up and know how to greet them. What's up? He knows how to go to the barber shop and tip the man and put the money in his hand and say, thank you, sir. Know how to banter with another man. All those things money can't buy, but money does help the primary caregiver take care of the child. So the hair, nail, skincare routine. Look at Yvette. Look how glowing. Look. No one is paying for it. We're doing it ourselves.
And this is the tired look.
Yes, I know. What time is it? It's 12:35 over here.
I know this is the tired look.
This is me when I'm tired.
Three mental sessions. I've had 3 sessions of mental health people that I had to talk off the legs. I'm exhausted.
I'm coming off of a funeral I went to yesterday. So play with it if you want to.
And then you just always beautiful.
Praise the Lord. Yeah, thank God that we don't look like what we've been through. And that's another thing I wanted to mention. Oftentimes when people divorce you, and I know Dave can chime in on this, they want to see you suffer.
Come on.
So anything that you are doing to, whether it's a new job, a new car, because I feel like when men get divorced, they move, they get a new car, they get a dog or a girlfriend.
Come on.
And some new underwear.
All of them.
Underwear.
They do, yeah. They seem in women.
We lose weight.
I don't know what women do.
We lose weight. We get back in the gym. We get our skincare routine right. We get more sleep. We stop smoking and drinking. We get a baddie as a girlfriend.
Yes,
we do it all. Yeah. Everything we can do.
What'd you do, Dre? Unmute Dre. What Dre got to say?
All right, go ahead, Dre. I unmuted you. Go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna say this. With my woman or without my woman, I'm gonna be in the gym looking sexy, get my sexy right. Because I don't want my woman looking at other men that's got their sexy right and all shape. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna always be done. But yeah, I totally agree 100% with you. But you have to also look at it this way. We're in a different era of people. So you have a lot of the ladies now, like the young lady that was on that video, saying, I want the money to get my hair done, where she could actually go get it done herself. Like you would get it done yourself. Like, I don't need your little bit of money to do this. Now, like I said, my thing is, if you have a man that's taking care of my child, I don't care what you do with my money. Like I said, I don't care what you do with my money. I'm still sending my money to take care of my child. I don't care if he's Jeff Bezos. I'm still sending my money to take care of my child. I'm still coming to pick my child up to take him to the ball game or whatever. I'm going to always do that. I don't care if I'm spending a whole lot of money on child support. I'm still going to come get my child and do what I need to do for him and hang out with him, because I want my child to look at me like my son does look at me. My son called me yesterday. He's like, Dad, I'm ready to get in the gym now. I remember some of the stuff you showed me, but I need you to write me out a whole workout plan. It took me an hour to write him out a whole workout plan. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm always going to be there no matter what. I don't care what age he is or whatever. I'm going to allow him to make his mistakes, because right now he's back in Philly with my mom, because my father passed and he's helping my mom out, right? So the thing is, he was going through a lot of different things, and I found out I had to, like when my father was dying, I had to grip this little nigga up, because he was acting like crazy, and I had to grip him up. and was up there like, he's like, Dad, get off me. Why you got me gripped up? I was like, shut up, bro. Who are you talking to? You're making a mistake right now. Then he started crying, and it all turned out that he was going through whatever he was because of his grandfather. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm like this. Oh my God! Now I got to sit down and talk to this man, right? Because now I don't treat him like a child anymore. I treat him like a grown man, and I keep telling my mother she needs to treat him like a grown man. She keeps saying, "Talk to your son." I'll talk to him, but he's going to make his own decisions. Now, when he wants some advice, when he wants to help, he's going to come to me, which now he's doing. Now he's doing great. He got a job with Greyhound, and I have to put this out there: save the man's life on the bus. The man's having a heart attack. You know what I'm saying? So now he's a hero, written up in the paper as a hero.
Daddy.
Oh yeah,
Daddy.
But I'm sorry, I have to go. I have some guests that came over.
Okay. Hey, I appreciate you, Dre. Thanks for joining, man. Always good to see you, man. Congrats on your daughter. And tell your beautiful woman I said, what up?
Oh, she hears you. She said to say hi.
That's what's up. All right, Dre. We see you. That's my man, Superman. Oh, Dre, did you watch the new Superman movie?
Of course.
I know you did.
Of course.
You like it?
Comic book guy, man. Of course.
You like it or not?
It's so I really enjoyed it because it humanized him. So now you see this guy getting upset. He's arguing. He's up there like, wait a minute, I'm doing good. What are you talking about? And it's like all the other Supermans are so perfect, you wouldn't think he was raised on Earth. You know what I'm saying? Superman was raised on Earth, you know. So it was a great movie. Only thing I didn't like is both the parents. They switched his home parents to. Oh, you didn't hear it? Oh, I can't go.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we didn't see it yet, and I plan on seeing it.
When you see it, you'll get what I'm saying. But I will say, Mom and Pa Kent, terrible. They were just some rednecks.
I said the same thing. I said I ain't never known them to be hillbillies. I was like, oh my God, it was. I like their moral character, but I didn't like their accents. I was done with the accents.
Right.
Exactly. But anyway, hey Dre, man, go enjoy your family, bro. Appreciate you, man. That's man, Superman. They actually call him Superman Dre. He got the Superman tat and everything. Like,
oh, he does.
Jay the real deal. Jay the real deal. Man, okay, ladies. I feel like we've covered a lot tonight. I know that it's late out on the East Coast. We started late. So I'm gonna open the floor. Is there anything that we want to talk about related to child support or related to custodial parents or non-custodial? I think we covered all of that. Is there anything that we missed, or is there anything we need to talk about before we bounce?
I think with the last girl, I know I was actually, it gave me angst. If that was the only clip we were going to be looking at, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so opposite of the ratchetness. I'm very happy that you brought up the first one. That was a little bit lighter. And with the second one, very beautiful girl. I think her ratchetness, I'm calling it ratchetness, with her getting her hair in us, just took away from the underlying point. Even though I'm married to you, even though you take care of my kids and your kids, like Yvette was saying, you still have to contribute because I didn't make the kids myself. And then what happens if you and I get divorced? Then I have nothing to fall back on. So even though she's taken care of now, as women, and I would suggest as men too, you always have to look towards like a couple years down the road to protect. Not so much it benefits you and the legwork that you'll have to do in the long run and to help your child receive the child support. So if she's blowing it now, if she were to get divorced because she seemed like she challenged her current husband.
I ain't like that. I didn't like that.
She challenged him, but if he were to go ahead and hold her to it, she had child support. She could be able to at least make up for the double loss or the single loss that she'll be receiving from the other person. So regardless of the fact, if you have a great relationship with your ex-partner, whether it be a husband or a boyfriend or whatever, you choose, or wife or ex-girlfriend, it's great, but always be mindful. If another person comes into the mix, all that may change. When somebody has somebody in their ear saying, why are you doing this? Or why are you doing that? You have the child support as a basis that it's a number that is based off of real numbers. And if you don't like it, you can go back and you can amend it, as opposed to you were giving me this money for, it was cool when I was single. It was cool
Yeah.
if you giving me a band when I was single, but now I'm dating somebody, you want to go ahead and cut it back. But if you
Yeah.
have the numbers written down, you have the numbers to continue to move forward.
You know what I had a problem with? I had a problem with her mentality
Mhm.
That's what
of
I wanted. Yeah.
Entitlement.
Right.
right.
That's what I wanted to say, Sophie. Like
Mhm.
she was just feeling entitled, and that was a turn off. And the one thing you said that made a lot of sense is, okay, get it, but put it away. Don't spend it frivolously on stupid stuff, because
Mhm.
with that mouth, she gonna be an ex soon.
Yeah.
You know, with her disregard to him being
To
the
her
man of the
husband.
household. Yeah,
Yeah, her
he's
husband.
already married to you, and she's like, "Oh, you can get like, no."
That was pretty privileged, and I was waiting for a man to bring it up because I
Yes.
was like, no one's gonna, and I
No.
felt like she was
You're
really
gonna be an
pulling
ex
her pretty
soon.
privileged card on. Yeah, I wanted because she felt very not almost. She was too comfortable expressing to
comfortable.
him, and she was calm.
Yes.
So
Very
she was
calm.
just sitting there, kind
Yeah.
of like, oh, and you could.
And the
And I could
blatant
hear in his voice he
disregard.
wasn't cute. So
Yeah.
it was
What? Wait,
somebody-
what?
I can tell. Play the
Like,
man's
why?
voice. We can tell when he was just like, so what do you mean? Like almost like begging her, the same thing that I'm going through, you want to do to me? I'm like, I could tell.
He
She was
wasn't
pulling
cute,
all
Sophie.
sorts
He
of
wasn't
pretty
cute,
privilege.
Sophie.
She was calm. She was just sitting there kind of like, and you
Well,
take care of my kids, and
he
But
could have
that's
been
the problem.
he could have been small in the department below the
Well,
belt.
we're not even going to do that. No, that attitude is the problem that we are having right now. You know what I'm doing this Saturday? I'm having a speed dating event, and the men will be blindfolded. The men will be blindfolded because they're visual. They will sit their butts down in the chair, put the blindfolds on. The women will sit in front of them, and then I have questions, and the men will kind of like do like their own mental scoring thing, or I'll have paper in front of them so they can kind of like score them. The
Yvette,
voices in the
Yvette,
conversation.
I need to see if I'm single. I need to see who I'm surveying out.
so they're
Damn
gonna
all
be
that,
blindfolded.
damn all that personality.
How
Nah,
do they put their marks down?
I'm just gonna give them a piece of paper. They're gonna have help. There's gonna be someone to help them along if they need it. But you know, it's
nah.
and I have some really great questions. There's some really nice
Yvette,
questions.
I need to be like,
No, that's the problem.
It's like Love Is
Y'all
Blind.
y'all discard some really nice people because y'all see them and they're that don't look good to you.
Yvette, I
That
don't
don't look good
care.
to you, but
I
you
don't
can have
care.
a conversation and they might be the
I
right
don't
one.
care. I don't care about her personality if she 1,000 pounds. I don't care about her personality if she looked like a mud duck. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. No, I don't. Where's my? Let me find the right. Where is it at? Here, hold on. Where's it at?
What? I don't care. Oh my
I don't care.
goodness.
No,
Dave.
she got to pass the eye test. I'm sorry, man. I'm married, so thank God.
But you still gonna eventually see her. It's just for a few minutes. You know?
Destiny was like, baby, would you have married me if I was 1,000 pounds? You ain't never. What did you say? Okay, what did you ask me, babe? What did you ask me? What did you say? Don't fight the hypo. Let me do the hypothetical. Look, Destiny said something like, "Hey, would you have married me if I was 1,500 pounds?" And I was like, "No." She said, "But what if I was the same person with the same personality?" I said, "Guess what? I would have never got to know that personality because I'd have saw you and walked the other way." And I'm not fat shaming. I'm just saying I'm uninterested.
Somebody said that.
Okay, but what if she's
Wait, look, Destiny,
59 pounds?
Destiny said I never asked him that. She said I never asked him that.
But what if he 50? What if he 50?
Okay. She said if I look like Bernie Mac. Okay, she said, babe, would you have married me if she looked like Bernie Mac? And the answer is hell no. I don't care about your personality. I don't care about none of that. Nah, I don't care about, because see, I can't get past Bernie Mac. If I'm talking to Destiny, we meet online and we're talking, and then I fly to, Jersey and Philly, and we go on our first date, and and she walking that first date, and she looked like Bernie Mac.
With long hair.
I'm closing the
Bernie Mac
door.
with long hair.
I'm closing the door.
Has that happened to you before, where you've kind of talked before, like on the phone with the catfishing, and then you meet them and it's like,
So
you don't
you know
look
what
anything
happened?
like
Yes.
that chest up. I thought you were.
Sophie, I was in baby. This is a college story. This is way before Salvation and you.
You always got to disclaimer that. Right?
I got to. Yeah, yes. Listen, and I'm out.
Okay.
Oh, I got water. One more time.
Okay. Oh, one more time. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So good.
All right, I'm in college. I'm not saved.
Story time.
And I'm trying to get some coochie. Ooh. And my boy is like, oh, my homegirl, she's cute. So we talking on the phone. Okay. And she's like, I can come up to Georgia Tech. I can come to your dorm. I said, okay, this is before cell phones. I said, okay, come on, walk down this way, and I'll see you as you coming up. And she's coming up. I'm like, she definitely curvy. She got all the curves, but I was like, I gotta see the face, and I was like, So then I was like, all right, let me go meet her down at the vestibule or whatever. I go down to the vestibule. I see her, and it's like, no. It's like no.
What did you do?
Because of her face?
Was not my type. Was not my type. So now
that wasn't as bad.
Hold on. So now I see her. That's what it was. I sent my boy, not this Dre, another Dre. I sent my boy Dre. I said, Dre, scout it out. He came back. He said, nigga. And I'm like, good. He was like, no. I said, what? He chuckling. He laughing. I'm like, man. So then I go downstairs. I see her, and I'm like, damn. And she's like, hey, baby, how you doing? Oh, he's talking on the phone, and I'm like, so I had a choice to make. Am I going to ghost this woman who came all the way to Georgia Tech from whatever part of Atlanta she was from? Am I going to just like ignore her? Oh, something came up. Am I going to lie? Or am I going to do what I said? Or am I going to do what I said I was going to do and take her on a date? So I made a decision. I made an executive decision, Yvette. I said, I'm a good man. I'm a good man, Lavetta. I'm going to take this woman on a date. So I took her to IHOP. Anybody from Atlanta know I took her to IHOP on North Avenue. Okay. I didn't have no car. So we walked to IHOP. And the whole time, she's just like, oh, you cute. Oh, my God. And we talking on the phone. And you going to do all the stuff you said you was going to do? You going to bring me back to the... I was like, you know what? I got finals. I got a lot going on. Let's just go get some food and let's figure it out. She's like, baby, I came all the way. I took the bus and let's take our time and let's slow down. Now, mind you, listen, look, Yvette, I was talking big stuff on the phone. Oh yeah, you get up here, girl. What, man? So I took her on her date. We had a nice date. I kept saying I need to go, and she finally got the picture that I wasn't interested. She said, "Oh, so you don't think I'm cute?" I was like, "You're a nice person, but." She's like, "Oh, really, nigga?" And she tried to go off on me, and I was like, "No. Let's have our nice meal. Let's call it peace," and boom, and she left. She finally left, but she was mad at me. She was like, "You talked all this stuff on the phone." But see, this is why I don't, Sophie, Yvette, ain't no Negro gonna do speed dating with blindfolds on. And if he does,
the men lined up.
Well, they don't need to do that.
They trust her.
They need to be like this.
They got the blindfolds. The questions are going into these little things. Little things.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put the questions in there. And the men have the little tuxedos.
Hold it up again.
The questions will go in the little tuxedos.
Is that a little dress?
Yeah, it's like a little wedding dress.
Oh, it is so cute.
And then I put the little red things on with the red glitter. See, I've been here doing art and crafts and all kinds of stuff. Look at this, like
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So then I have the little tuxedo things. So and I'm trying to make it really, fun. It's my first one, so we'll see where it goes from there. It's wonderful. It's a coffee
It's
shop.
like Love is Blind. Have you seen the show on Netflix?
See, yes, I have seen that.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's it's not, but it's in person, so you get to at least feel their energy across from you, but you're still blindfolded.
And smell the coffee, and you're gonna take them off. I mean, eventually, once it comes off, because it's not long. It's like, breakout sessions. We have the sessions, and then they break out, and then you get to converse later.
But they do get to see the women at some point. It starts off with the blindfold. Okay, all right.
You
It's
just don't know
important,
who
man. You got to be attracted.
You're not gonna see which woman that you're actually talking to in the beginning. It'll be at the end.
Do the women have blindfolds on?
Excuse me?
Do the women have blindfolds on? Are we all blindfolded?
No, the women are not. Remember, the men are visual. They count people out right away without talking to them.
Now this sounds scary now. Now if they both were blindfolded, but
no.
I'm sitting down with him and he's blindfolded, and I can already tell that he's 1,000 pounds. I might be with Dave on this one. That I might.
See, I don't know, Sophie. Maybe I don't know. Now you're making me think. Maybe I should put blindfolds on everybody. See, I got enough. I bought enough. I got enough. There's about 40 blindfolds here. I don't have 40 people, so
Visual is important because you know them shows, Love Is Blind and 90 Day Fiance and all that. I ain't with that, yo. No, I need to see. I need to see who I'm talking to, because if I'm not, I don't care how well we conversed and our souls were destined. No, if I take off my glasses and my blindfold and I see you and you look like Bernie Mac, I don't give a damn. Fuck all that. Nope. Oh nope. It was all in vain. I'm sorry. And you're vain. Yes, I am, because I know what I like. And see, this is the key. This is the key, y'all. This is the key. If a woman says he gotta be 6 feet, I like a tall man. If a woman says, hey, he gotta make 6 figures, you know what I mean? I like a man that's stable. Yeah, which is a demonic number. Why we even right? But that's what they do. Oh, he gotta have at least 6 inches. Whatever her requirement is. If a woman can have that requirement, then a man can have the eye gate requirement. She got to pass my eye gate, and it's what I like.
But
it's what I like.
Exactly why it's being done this way, because it's sometimes we think we like one thing, but you don't know what you really like because you haven't ventured out of your spectrum. Sometimes you have to open your mind and venture out into your spectrum. You know what I'm saying? Because there's people who never dated another culture, never dated outside their race, because they're stuck in, I have to be this, that, and another. But sometimes your person might be within that other culture. Love is love. You know what I'm saying? And you stay being with one with one person, and you're getting beat down consistently, from your culture or from whoever, and it's never working because it's just not working. So my thing is, open your mind. It's just to open your mind.
You gotta open your mind. You gotta open your mind. You do. Listen, the Lord may bring you a beautiful Asian woman, a beautiful Asian man, whatever your preference is. The Lord may bring you a beautiful white woman, beautiful white man. Okay. The key is beautiful. If the person looked like who did it and what for, if the person looked like who shot Boo, if the person looked like they got hit with a bag of nickels, and yes, to me, that's all I'm talking about. That's
but you just said, but you're talking about for you, but all of those descriptions that you just said might be for somebody else.
I agree.
Because if a purple Martian came down with a third eye right here, and he was kind of big, and he was good to me, that might be my
Listen,
you can't finish the sentence. Say it with your chest.
Listen, Yvette. But see, that's the whole point. To you, to me, to the person. So you, Yvette, might be open to a purple Martian with an eyeball right here. Another woman might not. Another woman might say, I could deal with an eyeball, but I can't deal with purple. Or another woman might say, I could deal with purple, but I can't deal with an extra eyeball. All I'm saying is we all got preferences. And listen, y'all know I'm a living testimony of own your preferences.
Right.
I got beat up online for saying I wanted a younger woman with natural hair, natural eyebrows, and edges. They beat me up. Right? But look at God.
Look at God. Look at God. You and your toys.
Look
That's Destiny. It's what you gotta put up with.
I know, poor baby. Destiny, blink if you need help, girl.
Yeah,
I'm just
Miss
saying.
Mo
Look
Better
at
said she said she's going for who loves her no matter the
God.
color.
Look at
They're saying stop, Dave.
all I'm saying is I looked at my wife's eyebrows the other day. I said, "Hey, Lily, Shanda la bosa."
That you speaking in tongues.
Yes, I am.
That is
I looked
love
at
over there.
I
You know
looked
what?
at her
That is
edges.
some
I looked
love.
at her edges and I
I'm
said,
so
yes,
sick of
Lord.
y'all with your love. No, I'm just joking.
She's like, babe, I look ugly. I said, no, you don't.
She did not say that.
Did you sent me a text message?
She didn't
Hold
say
on.
that, did she?
Hold on. She never said she looked ugly.
I was about to say that she can't possibly say that.
Hold on. I can't talk to two people at once. Wait a minute, y'all. Y'all talk amongst yourselves.
He getting in trouble. I was gonna say, don't be saying, quoting, telling private stuff because it's like, what?
Like, you better stop talking too much.
Don't talk too much.
That's why I
but
probably
I don't
shouldn't be
know.
on you.
I think something that I heard a couple times this weekend, a lady, she's probably in her 50s, and she said that she was going to a convention, and when she came in, she was doing her normal thing, and the end of the story is that they're married now. But when he saw her, he said, "That's going to be my girlfriend," you know. So I do believe, without even knowing her character, knowing her personality, when he saw her, and she is very classy, he thought, it's gonna be my girlfriend. And she's like, hey, I'm in sales, I travel. And he was like, I'm retired, I got nothing but time. And then they dated, and I heard similar stories twice, that when they saw her, they just knew.
All right. So Destiny said, nah, babe, leave me out of it. She said she regular degular. No, you're not.
No, you're.
And his wine is coming down on him.
I see. We're going to let Dave go first.
It's 1 a.m. over here, Eastern Standard Time.
Hold on. Y'all got a problem with me? You got a problem with me?
Is that what was his name? Remember that name?
Daddy Dave. Daddy Dave. Baby Dave. Baby Daddy Dave.
Y'all forgot about Baby Dave. He come up in here. Y'all trying to mess with me and everything. Listen, I love my wife. Let me love my wife. Okay? My wife fine as wine. You know what? I'm a cuss, because Baby Dave like to cuss. My baby fine as hell. Look at her over there, thicker than a snicker, with a little bitty ass waist and thick ass eyebrows, looking like you came out of somebody's Indian reservation. But you all nigger.
You went all the way to color purple.
Oh no! Okay, people are leaving. Okay, good night, Mo Better.
She's nigger. Okay. He said, "Hold on, let me calm down. I gotta relax. You're not too thick. You just right."
What's going on?
You hear me? Okay. I'm gonna stop. She said, "Okay, okay. Let me relax.
Let me calm down. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm back.
All right. Cool.
I'm back. All right, we're gonna let Baby Dave retire. All right, y'all. Hey, look, thanks for joining, Sophie. We hit our 2-hour mark. Thank you for joining, Yvette. Thank you for joining, Superman Dre. Y'all, we're gonna be back next week with another episode of After Dark. Sophie, you told me to go for it. I'm swinging for the fences. I'm bringing all the smoke back. We going for it.
Okay.
What's the smoke?
I don't know what I said, but I'll say okay.
I'm gonna tell you what Sophie said. Sophie said, Dave, you are Dave Life TV. She said, you don't need nobody help. You've been doing this for 315 episodes. So whether I'm there, whether Yvette there, whether anybody there, you do your show because you Dave.
Yeah.
And she said, you ain't challenging yourself. Go for the tough discussions. That's why tonight we talked about child support. I'm going for it.
Yeah.
And Panama Princess told me, bring the politics back. So we're going to be talking about Trump and everything. I'm going for it.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm make people mad. I don't care.
Yeah, I think that, I did say that, to just go for it. Don't play it kind of easy. Who should take someone on a date? Who should ask for the date? The boy or the girl? It's kind of like, no.
I'm going for it. I'm going for it.
Go for stuff. I'm like, I don't know. They're like, Dave, why are you? I said, I don't have time to talk about them. I don't know what those people do. I don't have time to watch the news, and I don't even know who's doing what. I
I'm
don't have new song rappers.
I'm gonna tell you about the people, and you know what I'm gonna tell you about real quick. Hold up, I got one thing to show y'all before I go. Did y'all hear about the CEO that got outed?
Yes, I wanted to. Yes.
What CEO?
Let me
got
pull this up. Yeah, he got caught. Dude got caught, y'all.
CEO for what? I see that
Yeah,
thing. I don't be knowing.
Yeah, okay,
Go
boom.
ahead,
Okay.
show it real quick.
All right, I got it. Okay. Okay, pause. Shit, it ain't pausing. Oh, damn. Okay, see, Dave been drinking too much. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. All right, so there's a CEO of like an aerospace company, and he was at a Coldplay concert, and dude got caught. I'm just gonna show y'all
So
how
did
he
the
got
HR lady.
So did the HR lady. All right, so look at this. All right, so I'm gonna try to I'm gonna play it. Hopefully y'all can hear it. Let me hit play. Can you hear that?
You're okay?
Can you hear it?
Yes.
Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
Watch this.
Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay?
It's not letting me. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in because it's not letting me pause it.
Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
One more time.
Oh, wow.
One more
Oh,
time.
look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what?
So it didn't let me zoom in.
I can see it. I see it.
Okay. So essentially, look at it.
All right, come on. You're okay?
Dude got caught. All right, dude got caught cheating. And when he got caught cheating, he was at a Coldplay concert, and the man on the microphone, one of the members of Coldplay, said, "Look at these two." And he said, "Oh, either they're cheating or something's up because they disappeared." All right. So Twitter,
Investigators,
Threads, TikTok, they went ham, and they were like, "We're gonna find out who this is." All right. And Yvette, they found out that he was the CEO. Here it is. Boom. Let me pull this up. They found out so much. Dude had to address it, and he had to apologize to his wife, Yvette.
You have that? You have that clip?
Yes.
Oh, I haven't seen that. I was wondering what happened because the CEO, that's integrity, that's trust, that's all of that stuff. And then you're not supposed.
Right.
Some companies you
So
can't.
look at this.
Yes.
All right. Statement from CEO Andy Byron. Andy Byron said, this is July 17th. This is today, y'all. This is like hot off the press. I want to acknowledge the moment that's been circulating online and the disappointment it caused. What was supposed to be a night of music and joy turned into a deeply personal mistake, playing out in front of a very public stage. I want to sincerely apologize to my wife, my family, the team at Astronomer. He's the CEO of Astronomer, which is a corporation. The team at Astronomer. You deserve better from me as a partner, as a father, and as a leader. This is not who I want to be or how I want to represent the company I help build. I'm taking time to reflect, to take accountability, and to figure out the next steps, personally and professionally. I ask for privacy as I navigate the process. I also want to express how troubling it is that what should have been a private moment became public without my consent. I respect artists and entertainers. Now you digging that Coldplay, Sophie. I respect artists and entertainers, but I hope we can all think more deeply about the impact of turning someone else's life into a spectacle. As a friend once sang, lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you. Andy Byron, CEO of Astronomer. Now, let me ask the ladies on the panel before we leave. This MFer was cheating. And got the nerve to say what should have been a nice time out in the privacy of my own environment got blown out of proportion because some musician decided to out me. Thank you. Well, what happened, Sophie? I know what happened.
There's no accountability. You got caught. They always have the kissing booth thing. They always do that. And it was a night that you intentionally took someone who was not your wife and you got caught and you weren't outed, you were caught. There is zero accountability. And that time you're taking to reflect, you were put on a personal leave, bruh,
Jesus.
And someone, you guys cannot, that's as far as I know, but I'm pretty sure someone's going to get fired, and he may have to step down.
Oh, he's probably going to step down. But here's the thing, because society now has made it where, well, I ain't going to say society. Now we're going to go into politics. Because this person who's in our White House right now has made it where they don't account for nothing, they're making it that way across the board. No one wants to be accountable for their wrongdoings. They're making it the norm to just screw people, do what you want, and never apologize. Period.
All right, so I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Just because he's cheating on his wife, does that mean he should lose his position as CEO of a corporation he helped build? Real talk.
I personally never believe that your job should be part of something that you do that you didn't do to the public. Like he did that cheating is what he did to his wife. And I'm going to take it to like when President Clinton got caught, everyone was like, oh, he needs to do this. He was doing a good job as a president. He probably didn't like what he had at home. So at that point in time, I said I wanted my president to get some head because
Damn. Not head. Not head. What we talking about? We talking about head?
I said I wanted to get some so he could always push that daggone button. He ain't angry because he's happy. He's smiling. You know what I'm saying? That's what's wrong with this other one. And if he was to get a little bit of something, he could be a little bit more happy.
We talking about head. We talking about head. Not coochie. Not coochie. We talking about head. Head?
I feel like
well, let me ask
those
this.
positions.
Let's go back to this. The president of the United States, elected by the people, public official, leader of the free world, gets caught cheating and lying about it. I never had sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. All right. If a public figure who's been elected cheats on his wife and lies about it, should he be taken out of office? Eventually, he didn't get taken out of office. They tried to impeach him, but it didn't work. Should a man lose his public office if he's found to be a cheater and a liar?
It's integrity for me. I don't deal with people. I don't have friends that are cheater. I'm not going to cover for you. I don't want to be involved in your mess. It's integrity. If you lied to the person that you lay down to, imagine that you put your seed into, imagine what you would do to me. And it wasn't like they were sitting there and he kind of gave her a hug because they were sitting there yoked up and swaying.
They were yoked up.
So it wasn't like oh my gosh, Coldplay, this is my favorite song. Yeah. It was not that. They were a couple, and they also had people, if you want to play it again, the lady next to them had secondhand embarrassment. Yes, because she was beat red. Then all of the friends in the background, which are probably employees or our friends, were like trying to cover for them. So they all were a part of it. It's about your integrity for me. I don't want to have any friends. I don't want to have a boss. And then going to the level about him being fired, he should, because she's an employee and she's his subordinate. So for that, cheating on him with somebody else, from a waiter or something like that, but cheating with somebody who works with you, both of them have failed. Look how beat red her face was.
Yeah, that lady right there. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
she's super embarrassed. Then she got embarrassed. He ducked down.
Now watch the friends.
Right.
See, that's covering. They all went to try and already get. Looks like they're trying to get in front of the camera, but it could also double as they're trying to cover for him to help him cover. They knew immediately they were wrong.
Right. Yeah.
Immediately they were wrong.
Yeah.
So you weren't outed, and then she's talking to her friend. You see how she's whispering to her friend.
She's extremely embarrassed. Yep.
So everyone knew about it. And that goes with your integrity. I have to be able to trust you. You're a CEO. You're getting paid the highest out of everybody. Paychecks, all of those things. If we can't trust you to make the right decision for your household, how dare you be able to sit
And-
there and say you
and-
apologize. And that wasn't even an apology. I think someone when the thread was talking about how it wasn't really an
apology.
Yeah, no, he was. Yeah.
I wouldn't do business with him. He got loyalty issues. Yes, loyalty, integrity, all of those things.
Yvette,
I feel
you
you
gotta
on
go. You gotta go,
I
Yvette.
do. I just looked at the time. When you said the 17th, and I'm like, it's actually the 18th right now. I done missed my sister's birthday is today. Happy birthday,
Okay.
Niecy. Me and her do a 12 o'clock call. She calls me like clockwork at 12 o'clock, and she sings to me, and I done missed her 12 o'clock call. Messing with your
Lord.
butt, Dave. No.
I'm sorry. All right, we gonna call it a night.
It was
Thank you,
family day today.
Thank you, everybody, for joining. And Sophie, you made a great point. He was
You
messing
did.
with a subordinate. Same thing with the president. That's an abuse of power. You can't do
Let's
it.
talk about that. Let that be our next show.
All right, we'll talk about it later. Hey, thanks everybody for joining. I'll
Bye.
see y'all,
Thanks for
man.
having me.
It's after dark,
Bye-bye.
y'all.
Bye, everyone.
Peace.